Alright there, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm going to be updating you on some more latest news. There's been a change, change we've seen. There's been a lot that's changed since I updated you on my last video. The rumours have now risen up a lot now. Is currently about 28-year-old Gareth Bale coming to Manchester United. The rumours have risen up now in the last couple of days, but they've risen up even more today. It's in numerous reports suggesting about Gareth Bale. But the main catch is basically currently Gareth Bale's agent, Mourinho, apparently his agent, Gareth Bale, had contacted Mourinho, they'd interacted, and basically said it was really very likely and potential that he was going to be making a move to Manchester United. Currently, the player that has scored 67 goals, I think, in 150 appearances for Real Madrid. He has currently been there since 2013. He has currently won three Champions Leagues. He's won La Ligas, and Real Madrid did pay 90 to 100 million pound off him from Spurs. But he has been fantastic. He didn't get the starts last season because he was injury prone. But what a fantastic player would be. But basically, Mourinho has had a negotiation with Bale. I think it was back in the pre-season game when they negotiated about him making a possible move. But basically, the representative has basically announced this. Basically, he's poured cold water on this speculation regarding Bale, and basically said it's ridiculous, and this basically is a fake narrative. This is what the representative said. So basically what he's quoting out, he doesn't believe this is going to happen. But the rumours have risen up basically now because they could be in the pole position now to get Kylian Mbappe. So basically they do have to offload one of their players to Madrid, because Ronaldo's one of the best players in the world, but he will divot in a couple of years' time. Benzema's a good goal scorer, and he also wouldn't want to sit on the bench. So they're looking to sacrifice Gareth Bale. But Don Ballon, a Spanish publication, had reported that Perez, the current president, is willing to sanction Bale if they do get Mbappe. But Zidane's still convinced. He's still convinced that he will stay. And also Gareth Bale, he's had his own point of view on the situation, basically saying he's happy. He's no desire to leave the club or nothing like this. He has no desire at all to leave the club. Mourinho's now more confident now that the rumours are speculating around. He's more confident now that we could get him on the board. We could actually land him. Because Mourinho before disregarded it basically. He basically thought he's got no desire to leave the club. He's not going to get sanctioned. And basically Mourinho had disregarded the full-on speculation. But now he's being taught, now reports are suggesting about this. Mourinho thinks that he can land Gareth Bale. But the rumours have risen up, but he did start in the Champions League final when he was dismissed for the Champions League final last season. Didn't get that start, and he was thinking about coming to the Premier League. He is Premier League proven as well. He's that player that can create that width. We've been interested since 2013. We've had that interest in Gareth Bale. He's strong, he's quick, he's good on the ball, he's very tenacious. He's a fantastic player, Galactico player I'd love at Manchester United, you know, and definitely comparison to Perisic, as I say, but fantastic player. But the rumours have risen up about this, and also the journalist has confirmed that he can make a move to Manchester United. We'd probably be paying 70, 80, 90 million pound for Gareth Bale, but it would be worth that money for Bale, because I don't think he's destined that he does want to make a proposed move. I don't think he wants to leave the club, but if they're in the incentive to get Mbappe, they basically have to offload Bale. They've already raised money of Real Madrid this summer, you know, they've raised 100 million. They've offloaded Rodriguez, they've offloaded Danilo, they've offloaded Morata as well. So they've got decent money for that as well. So they need to create that space, and Bale is the option for Real Madrid to sanction off when it's looking likely now that probably are going to get Mbappe on the board. So the rumours have risen up now about Gareth Bale. Do you think he could potentially make a move to Manchester United? I think now he could be a main target. You know, his comparison to the Perisic, for the entirety of the summer we've wanted Perisic, and he come into the equation as well. Did Frossenberg from Red Bulls, but with the Perisic case now, it's going really, really downhill. Ed Woodward's on the tour to try and get deals finalised, but Ed Woodward basically has urged basically to try and still catch even Perisic. But he had quoted out yesterday regards to even Perisic that Lou Spalletti, the current manager, it basically reported, the Italy press has said the deal's over, basically. We're no longer in negotiation about getting the player, and we've more intentions on Frossenberg. And it quoted out from Lou Spalletti yesterday basically that I cannot keep him against his will, and he basically praised and admired Perisic from his performance. He's basically saying he's strong, he's a fantastic player, I know him, everyone knows him, but if he really wants to force the move, then I can't stop the player from forcing the move, basically. And he did quote out that yesterday in, I think it was in The Sun. But there's been currently a change of scenery now regarding Perisic. Louis Spalletti's quoted out basically there's no longer talks, there's no discussions now going on between United and Inter Milan for us to capture even Perisic. And he's basically quoted out now. He's ruled that he's sanctioned it, basically saying Perisic is not going to get sanctioned, and he's very convinced and confident he will be staying with Inter Milan. So looks like the deal could be off, because yesterday Inter Milan were demanding even Martial again involved in the deal. As I said, numerous teams have been interested in Martial, but Martial is not going to leave Manchester United. Mourinho's not going to sanction him. He still needs to grow and develop into his game more, which he is going to do because he's quick, he's strong, he's good at going forward also. He has failed to replicate that form, but he hasn't had really much of that chance to prove himself. But he's still only young, he is still only 21, and he's like Rashford, he's grown and developed into his game as he's proven in these pre-season games. So the process of this, basically, it's been going on since May. We've been waiting to try and get a deal finalised for Perisic. We've had bids rejected in the past. You know, the directors of Inter Milan even were basically resisted to any offers. Inter Milan were still demanded, they want that £48 million that Di Marzio had announced. That's what Inter Milan wanted, that £48 million. We were failing to meet that. We had a recent bid rejected, was it 39 plus add-ons as well, which is for the appearances and performances, but he's basically now probably will be staying at Inter Milan now. A player that's fantastic. Also scored a good goal against Chelsea, who they beat 2-1, I think. Last season, his performances were fantastic. He's a player that's got tremendous speed. He's quick, he's strong, he's very aggressive, very highly experienced, just like Bale is. But obviously, their comparison to each other, Bale's much of a lot better player. But Perisic has been our main priority, but we're just struggling to agree on a full-on agreement. They're being stubborn, we're trying to play hardball, we're not willing to pay that £48 million. So basically now this deal could be off for Perisic for now. Bale could be more likely, basically, but I would be disappointed if we did get Perisic and then Bale became available. That would be annoying. But now I think we should look more into another left winger, because Inter Milan are not willing to sell Perisic because they're changing stuff every single time. They're wanting Martial on loan. They're asking for an higher price tag. You know, discussions have been going through. We've been trying to get a deal finalised. Personal terms had been agreed for the player, but we're just struggling to get a deal finalised. The player that's highly experienced, been at Wolfsburg, been at Dortmund. Was it 12 goals last season? Got a lot of assists in there as well. So his performances are absolutely sublime, and we expected it to be done last week. The media was speculating this was supposed to be done by Monday. Then it was going to be announced in the next 48 hours. Then we was awaiting what was going to be happening, and then he goes off to China, does Perisic. So then I don't know. And since then there's still been talks, but we're just not struggling to get a deal finalised. He's tried accelerating the move by that dental problem that I had that time, by leaving the Northern Italy training camp, trying to get the deal done then. But he's trying to force the way through, but Inter Milan are just being stubborn, and they're fully convinced now he's not for sale, basically, and that the negotiations or us trying to plotting for him again, he's made it clear it's all over now, basically, for Perisic. This is what he's quoted out. There'll be still rumours going on about it, but in my opinion now, we're just struggling to get a deal finalised, and I don't think it's going to happen now. So yeah, and And then it turned out we'd had more attentions on Rosberg from currently by Red Bulls. I said the 25-year-old who's currently won the Swedish Player of the Year. It quoted out yesterday, Mourinho, I think it was yesterday or it was the day before. Mourinho had quoted out he'd been, with his current agent, he'd contacted the agent. He'd been in negotiation currently with the player's age, with Rosberg's agent. He'd been in negotiations. Currently, Lindelof and Rosberg do currently share the same agent. That they'd been in talks and discussions about finalising a deal, which was around about £45-50 million. A player that's strong, he's quick, he's very good at going forward. He's also got tremendous speed as well. Wouldn't really come. I think he's better in some aspects of his game than Perisic, but I think Perisic is obviously more highly experienced and he's been at better teams. He currently helped them finish second. I think he got 9 goals, 19 assists last season. And what else did he get? 9 goals, 9 assists. And also helped them qualify for the Champions League and gain them to second place. But they're another team, Red Bulls. They've been a team that's been hard to negotiate with this season. Basically, I think they've quoted out they're reluctant to sell and resisted to Frossenberg. And they're also resisted and reluctant to sell Naby Keita. But basically, Liverpool have tried to get the pursuit off for quite a while now. I think there has been negotiations going on. Liverpool have had a couple of bids rejected for Naby Keita, but they're struggling to go along with this basically, and they are reluctant to sell him. So Liverpool basically still need to address their midfield because Emre Can could be going. Where Emre Can could be going, and you know now with Philip Coutinho, Liverpool have quoted out he's currently not for sale. He's Philip Coutinho. They've basically sanctioned it off. Barcelona want Philip Coutinho apparently. I think there had been negotiations going on with Barcelona, Liverpool, and the current player. But Liverpool are resisted to this because they do need to strengthen up their midfield, and now they're struggling to get a deal finalised for Naby Keita because they want that number 8 role to be filled. They're obviously going to hold on to Philip Coutinho. They might get a good reasonable fee for him. They might get a fantastic £80-90 million for the player, but nah, they'll probably want to keep him if they can't get Naby Keita on the board. Barcelona have been in there for Coutinho. He's a player that he's a very creative player. He's good at giant forward, very tenacious, very compassive. I think he got 13 goals last season, did Philip Coutinho. So Liverpool won't basically want to sell him off if they can't get Naby Keita on the board especially. The midfield needs to improve to Liverpool and they'll be frustrated with lack of investment in the transfer window. So too we are. So too a lot of other teams are, apart from Manchester City, who've done fantastic business, especially with Monaco. Everton have done fantastic. They've got 6 or 7 players in there, spent over 100 million. City have spent over 200 million now on 5 players. So yeah, a lot of teams. Chelsea will be still frustrated with the lack of investment in the transfer window. They'll be still frustrated. Conte wants more. He wants to probably bolster his squad up, add depth in the midfield, as I'm saying. So, but anyway, let's go on. What's going on with Sanchez? Anyway, the latest news now about Sanchez. This has been speculating now for the last week. As we did report to you guys yesterday, he posted something on Instagram. He was currently with his dog, I think. And that it gained a lot of attention. It gained a lot of attention of a lot of Arsenal fans, and it was on Instagram basically yesterday. And currently claimed he was going to be absent for training tomorrow, which is Sunday, and he'd currently been dismissed for that training. And basically now it's been on for the last week. Basically, he's insisted that he wants to leave Arsenal. He no longer wants to be an Arsenal player. He currently wants to move on in his own. He's coming to the end of his contract. So as I said, you will get him for a reasonable fee. But Arsene Wenger is still standing firm. He's being ruthless. As I said, that he's still convinced that Sanchez will stay. He's looking to keep him. This all started, the main part of the narrative, when Sanchez quoted out that he wanted Champions League football. in that interview, he said that Arsene Wenger basically had a few interviews. He currently mistranslated everything that had been said. He had no faith in the media whatsoever. He had nothing at all what the media was saying. He had no trustworthy in the media. And he was standing firm, and he absolutely rebuffed everything that has been said. But you can tell now, Sanchez has topped it off that he does want to leave the club. We know he's had interest from Bayern Munich. He's had interest from Manchester City. And he's had interest from currently Paris Saint-Germain as well. But it was the meeting he had the other week. That's when it basically all started off. What was he doing in Paris? He had the meeting with his current director, Sanchez's agent, who was also urged him maybe to see off his deal with Arsenal. And they had a meeting, and PSG was willing to try and get a bid over the line. The director was trying to basically get a bid over the line, like the chairman's trying to get a bid. Well, the chairman's trying to get a bid in for Neymar. But basically, now I think PSG have currently cooled their interest. I don't think they will be getting him on the board now, as PSG are so close now to completing the signing of Neymar. But latest news about Sanchez. We know Manchester City have had their interest. Pep Guardiola is keen on having to reunite with Alexis Sanchez. Pep Guardiola has basically quoted out he's not convinced that he's hinted out basically that City will not sign Sanchez. But Claudio Bravo has insisted he would love to have Alexis Sanchez at Manchester City. But now the breaking news is now that Manchester City could be in the pole position to sign Alexis Sanchez. There's been talks about this. Right there, what's that noise? There's been talks about this about Alexis Sanchez now that City have prepared to offer him a £320,000 a week deal to go to Manchester City, which would basically make him one of the highest players at Manchester City. Basically, anyway, he has been at Arsenal demanding a £400,000 a week contract. He also, to PSG, was trying to demand a £500,000 a week contract. They were willing to pay over 40 million with PSG or something like that. You'd get him for a reasonable fee now anyway, Alexis Sanchez. But, wait there. You'd get him for a reasonable fee, but City are prepared to, they're willing to pay maybe 40, 50 million for him, but they're prepared to offer £320,000 a week to sign Alexis Sanchez. He's keen on the move. I think he's keen to make a reunion with Pep Guardiola. He's not fully committing to it, but this is £320,000 a week. Wenger is only willing to pay the most for him, £275,000 a week to keep him at Arsenal. But this is not only £320,000 a week. This is including the add-ons, which is obviously will be the appearances and performances, and it basically will be nearly touching that £400,000 a week that is being demanded. So it's so close, £400,000 a week. So it would be beneficial actually if he did depart Arsenal and go to Manchester City. But yeah, it definitely really looks like now that Sanchez is going to be departing Arsenal. It's been speculating for the last week now, but now it's come to reality. More things have updated. He's claimed he's sick. He's not going training. He's posted stuff on Instagram and stuff like this, and he just quotes he wants Champions League football. Arsenal, first time in 20 years, they haven't had it. 3 FA Cups in 4 seasons is not enough for him. He wants to be winning trophies, and at Manchester City, with the way they've built the squad up, Pep Guardiola's been a checkbook manager so far. He's got Champions League football, and he's going to be participating in Champions League football if he goes to City, if he goes to Munich, which is not probably going to happen, and if he went to Paris Saint-Germain. But City now could be the favourites to get his current signature on the board, Alexis Sanchez. So I don't think PSG will now get him on the board, because how they're basically going to afford it. It's astronomical business if they do get the signing of Neymar. But they won't be able to afford both without even complying for financial fair play or without even breaking the financial fair play rules. So we'll see. And the latest news about Neymar. Neymar now, he currently was involved in fighting yesterday. He was on a fight. I think it was something to do with a nutmeg. He'd caused havoc, and he was fighting with was it his teammate Nelson Semedo, who Barcelona have just recently got. But I think it would be beneficial now. I think the deal's nearly all the line. I think they've agreed a 5-year deal, is it, in principle for the player. And he's currently told his friends again that he's going to be joining PSG. His father's basically quoted everything out. He's discussed with the PSG officials. We know it's been speculating for the last week since it updated. The PSG owners have been in talks with Barcelona over a potential move. Barcelona president, the Barcelona board, basically was still convinced he was not going to leave Barcelona. But basically what's happened is, basically now Barcelona have basically left the decision to Neymar what he wants to do. And it's quoted out that he does want to leave the club. And basically it'd be beneficial for him because he'd become one of the most highly paid players in world football. And this would make absolute history in the world of football when this deal goes through. So this is going to smash the deals of Pogba last summer. It's going to smash the deals of Bale in 2013. It's going to smash the deals of Ronaldo back in 2009. It's going to smash a hell of a lot of deals if this finalises. His performances in Brazil have been absolutely fantastic. He has a strong relation with Messi. I think Messi and Suarez will basically want him to stay. And he's got teammates at PSG. He's got Thiago Silva. He's got Dani Alves. And people have had says on the matters. Ronaldo persuaded him maybe not to go. Cavani has welcomed him to join PSG. And this is absolutely astronomical business. And this looks like now this is going to be done. It could be any time now. This is basically going to be finalised. But Barcelona have explained how much of an important figure that Neymar is for the team with his performances over the years, and he's hitting form in these pre-season games. I think he's already scored 3 goals as Neymar. So they're looking to pay this €220 million bid. Absolutely astronomical and staggering amounts of money for the player. But he's 25, he's highly experienced, he's good, he's quick, he's good at going forward, very tenacious, combative, combines with his teammates well, and he is a fantastic player. He is a very, very fantastic player. But now Barcelona basically have looked more in the region for a replacement. They don't want to lose Neymar, but they've looked in the region as a replacement. Now they've thrown Coutinho in there. They've basically thrown Di Maria in the equation as well. They've even tried to throw in Antonio Griezmann. This could actually be very, very terrible news for us because basically we was on the verge of getting Griezmann earlier on in the summer. He told the TV with 6 out of 10 he was going to be coming. It looked realistic that Griezmann was going to come. But now that the transfer ban got upheld, and now that currently Madrid have got a transfer ban, we currently failed to get the pursuit of Antonio Griezmann. He could have still come, but obviously they had that transfer ban, so they couldn't really find an alternative replacement for the player. But now, basically, Barcelona have targeted him as a possible replacement for Neymar, and that would be bad news because Mourinho, I don't think he's too bothered about the strike force. I don't think he's bothered about the attacking force up front. I think he's looking more that in January about that. And Griezmann is going to be the main priority in January for Jose Mourinho to try and capture him. So if Barcelona capture him, they're raising these funds. They can will to offer Griezmann out. They can will to offer Di Maria out. They can will to offer Coutinho out, maybe 70, 80, 90 million, because they've got the funds that they've raised from sanctioning Neymar off. So I just hope they don't get Griezmann, Barcelona. So they've looked into Di Maria as a replacement. I think they've looked at Griezmann. I think Verratti's been thrown in there before, but probably Verratti won't happen. I think Verratti maybe, as he's currently changed agents, he's now currently with Raiola, who represents a few of our players and got deals finalised. I don't think that was a signal sign he may join Manchester United, as much as I'd loved him to join Manchester United, but I think he may go to Barca. They've been in discussions and negotiations, but he probably may just sign another contract with PSG, could Verratti. They've thrown quite a lot of players in there. I think they've looked at 3 Premier League players of Barcelona, because they've got the money to do it. They can get a player, they could get 2 players, maybe 3 with that amount of money, but obviously they're looking for the same type of player that's got like the same potential level as Neymar, so it will cost them a staggering amount of money. So we'll see anyway. Anyway, the latest news about Mbappe, yes, as I keep saying, Monaco are reluctant and they are resistant to sell a lot of their players. The vice president had quoted out he's reluctant to sell Fabinho, he's reluctant to sell Thomas Lemar, and he's reluctant, basically, he'd quoted out the process of it, that there was going to be securing a new deal for Mbappe. But Vice President quoted out the key players, the very iconic figures, the very, very important players. He said, I'll address the speculation case. And he's reluctant and he was resisted to sell any of them 3 players, basically. With Mbappe though now, Mbappe does insist that he wants to leave. For the entirety of the summer, he's attracted a lot of interest from teams. Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal have had bids rejected. They're still keen on getting the player. And numerous other teams, and it all started basically... Noise. Wait there a minute. I'll be right back. Wait there, guys. Just got her down a minute. Sorry guys about that, I heard the noise downstairs. I am back now. Yes, going about Kylian Mbappe, the rumour started the other day when currently the Spanish press had reported they'd agreed a deal in principle with Monaco and to secure the signing of Mbappe. This was a staggering £160 million, plus the add-ons for the appearances and performances, nearly touching £200 million, and what else was it? And it was offered a 6-year contract with Real Madrid. And then Manchester City have also been in there to try and capture him. They're willing to pay up to £141 million. And the rumours had risen up then that, according to reports, Barcelona were keen on making a move for him. He was also a potential replacement for Neymar. They'd had a keen move. The French L'Equipe had reported basically a price tag had been named for him, which was about £180 million. And then basically it had reported a meeting was going to be scheduled, basically, and this meeting was scheduled. Reports were suggesting that Barcelona had currently met up with Mbappe's agents to try and discuss a potential move to try and bring him to the new camp for a currently replacement for Neymar. So there has been discussions going on about Mbappe, but as I did say, the Vice President is reluctant and resisted to sell Neymar, Fabinho, and he's currently been in talks about extending the players, securing a deal for Mbappe as the Vice President. So I don't know what's going to be happening, but he's basically quoted out before they've been taking legal actions of Monaco for this, about capturing some of their players from certain teams. They've raised a lot of money. They have raised £300 million in total. If they were to offload Mbappe, they'd raise even more money. If they were to offload Thomas Lerner, they'd raise even more money. But it's finding them individual replacements, and that's the main part about it. It's finding them individual replacements. As I keep saying, about money like that, you can buy a new 11. You can at least buy 7 or 8 players. You know what I mean, guys? And that is a staggering amount of money for an 18-year-old. And I think these teams are just judging him after one fantastic season. Hit the scenes in the Champions League. 29 goals in all competitions last season. And he's played fantastic for France as well as Mbappe. He has played fantastic for France as this player. As much as I'd love him at Manchester United, you know, there's a lot of youngsters out there wouldn't even be going nowhere near that price tag that apparently Monaco have set out for the player. Nowhere near. You wouldn't even get... Ousmane Dembele is a fantastic high prospect, still only young, but there's no way that Borussia Dortmund would probably set a price tag out for 160 plus add-ons. No bleeding way. So, and he's good as well. He performs well for France. And he's going to be in the top 2 or top 3 when Messi and Ronaldo retire. You know, so you can't basically just judge someone after one season. So, this is beneficial. Mbappe is a Real Madrid supporter anyway, and he's convinced that he does want to leave Monaco. There's Mbappe, you know. City probably have already done good business. They've captured Mendy, they've captured Bernardo Silva off Monaco. Chelsea have captured Bakayoko. Monaco are a big club. They were just fantastic last season because they had the good players in there. So they have gained profits for their players. You know, they won the La Liga one. They did well in the Champions League, but compare them to Real Madrid, nothing. Real Madrid are a much, much bigger club. Barcelona are a much, much bigger club. Even City are probably better, even though they got ripped to shreds by Monaco last season. So basically he wants to go to that higher level, does Mbappe, but he is still only 18 years of age, so it'd be beneficial if Mbappe goes to Madrid. There has been negotiations going on. City have been in negotiations with Monaco. Madrid have been in negotiations with Monaco about capturing Mbappe on the board. So I think this is beneficial for us, really, if we do get Bale out of this, which would be very, very fantastic news, guys. It really, really would be fantastic news if this was to happen. But Bale may be just speculation. It may just be false rumours. He's still standing firm, as I said. He's Zidane's standing firm. He doesn't want him to leave Bale, and he's basically insisted to Florentino Perez that he doesn't want him to sanction him off. But Mbappe wants that first team football. He wants that first team football at Real Madrid. And when it's built around Ronaldo, as I said, it's going to divvy in a couple of years' time. And you've got Bale and Benzema there. How is he going to get in that first team? Because Benzema won't want to sit on the bench. You know, Ronaldo definitely won't want to sit on the bench. So how is he going to get in that first team? So they've got to think about it that way. But the biggest story of this transfer window so far with the Neymar case, the Neymar deal, he's going to be one of the highest placed players in world football. So he's going to take a lot of credit for that. Is Neymar, but he's just insisted he wants to leave the club, and Barcelona don't want him to leave. You know, they've had their point of view across, but they've left the decision to him, and looks realistically now he is going to be joining Paris Saint-Germain. So what a story this is. What a new start this will be for Neymar. He's still 25, so he's still got years ahead of him to express himself more. But so we'll see if there's anything else to update on. Anything else to update on? But yeah, with City, as I said, they're doing good business in this window. There's still teams are straight. They wanted to get more signings on the board. So yeah, that's about it, guys. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below. Subscribe to your channel. Can you let me know what you think to the Sanchez case, what you think to the Bale case, and drop your comments and likes below on the video. And I'm going to go have a glance at some more transfer and we'll see what's going on. So anyway, guys, subscribe to my channel as always. Chazzaboy Davenport, and take it easy, and I'll see you guys later on. Bye.